The Canon R3, the Nikon 40mm, the Aputure P600C, the GoPro Hero10, and more right now. Let's get into this. What's going on, everyone? Seth Miranda here. This is Adorama Rewind. A lot of cool stuff came out, and I think you guys all know about a bunch of it because it's happened throughout the week and this is a Sunday. But the Canon EOS R3 got released and we got our hands on. I got to a huge shoot with Ab Sesay. Let's go over to it. Boom. There's my man right there going all in on the EOS R3. And there's this guy behind him. I don't know who this good looking guy behind him is, but clearly he's the star of the show. No, actually this camera is, and they also released two lenses with it, the RF 16mm f2.8 and RF 100 to 400 f5.6 to f8, which is a variable aperture zoom lens. But we'll get into the lenses in a second. Let's talk about the R3 because that's kind of like the big deal here. We're looking at a 24 plus megapixel, super fast sports news press kind of camera, although Ab shot kind of a fashion thing with it. And he also did like kind of a dancer thing, which is still action. But man, I got to tell you, as one of the few people that got to actually hold this and use it a little bit, this camera, I'm not kidding you, it feels great. The autofocus was very impressive, but one of the things that I found really great about it were the little detail things that they put in there that people aren't really talking about. So what exactly am I talking about? You know, things like the OVF simulation where the EVF actually has HDR enabled so that it opens up the shadows and makes it look like you're looking through glass. So for guys like me that work in a studio that's usually in low light and you're shooting theoretical light that isn't there yet, the flash isn't there, so you're not really looking at exposure simulation, you're looking at what the camera's trying to give you something to be able to work with. The OVF simulation was like mind blowing. When they clicked it into that, me and Ab looked at each other like, what? On top of that, I think there were some misconceptions about this camera as far as the actual body itself. It is way smaller than you think it is. It just has proportions that look like a full-on DSLR flagship with the integrated grip. The integrated grip allows it to be really weather sealed. You know, it's just this as rugged as the 1DX Mark III, which is a flagship DSLR from Canon, which unbelievable camera in its own right. This one though, for what it is, was like light as a feather. I think me and Ab both thought that they didn't put a battery in the camera when we picked it up, but really compact for what it is, really light for what it is, and the grip felt amazing too. But aside from that, very responsive. The shutter button felt incredible. The EVF looked gorgeous. The back screen being 4+ megapixels, so you could actually see what you're doing. You could see the noise levels you're getting if you're seeing any kind of thing that you're not happy with. You're really able to get a sense of it in that LCD, as opposed to something that might have a low resolution where you're not seeing so much detail. You're just getting an idea of a JPEG preview, which is really all you're looking at on the back of a camera. We all want to tether when we can, but you can't always. So having the extra resolution was really nice. The EVF was beautiful, and all the other stuff that you get from Canon, which is, you know, just the build quality and the colors and everything out of the camera. So this camera, they're not calling it a flagship, so we're still waiting on the horizon for some kind of monster release. Like I've been saying, I would kind of wonder what else they could go from here. They already have their higher res R5. Are we going to be looking at a global shutter going forward? I don't know. Let me know down below what you think the Canon flagship, if this isn't the flagship, what will the flagship be? It just seems like it's geared for speed. It seems like they put out a camera that they're very confident in. Everything that I tried with it was smooth and nice and clean. And I think it's being very well received. Orders seem very strong for it. So we'll see what happens once it gets into the wild. Of course, it was tested out at the Olympics. We talked about that a couple weeks ago here on Rewind. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about the R3. Let me know if you're someone that pre-ordered it. Let me know if you're excited for it, what you would have liked to have seen from it, what you've been surprised from the spec sheets and what you've been seeing about it. There's been so many videos out there. I mean, Peter McKinnon dropped it from a drone, right? That's like the big thing. But check out Ab's video on our channel. The link's down below. But let's also talk about the lenses that he got to try. So the 16mm f2.8, whoa. When I got the call about this lens, they said, oh, it's going to be $299. And I'm like, wait, you mean $2,999. It's like a $3,000 lens, and a 16 millimeter that's 2.8 that's corrected for the most part. And they're like, no, it's gonna be $300, and it's like this big. This lens is tiny. I would have killed for a lens like this back in the day when I was shooting BMX and skateboarding. Something that was $300, sharp, small, all this stuff. Even if you don't shoot a lot of wide angle, if you're in this system, it's a great lens to have on hand because it doesn't take a lot of space in your bag. It's pretty low cost and it has some really great results. So I can see this even going onto a camera really easily to be put on a gimbal because it's so small and lightweight. Ab did a great job with it. You can see right over here, he shot the 16 millimeter. You can see that he tried to put as many straight lines as he could in there, so it is pretty well corrected. It is tiny. Look at the size of this. That's it, guys. I mean, you're gonna get your knuckles in the shot. In fact, over on our Twitch channel, right over here, Ab actually tried to show you guys all the shots that he did that day. So you can see the BTS, the shots that didn't get put out there. You can hear his inside thoughts about the R3. So if you want to hear from someone who really put it through its paces, tried out the new lenses, this is where you should go for this. I will put the link down for this specific live stream down below. You can see every shot. He zooms in, pixel peeps, really combs through them with a fine-tooth comb. This was a great stream. If you missed out on it, I don't know what to tell you. This was phenomenal. It was really cool to see not only what the camera produced, but also Ab's mindset for the shoot. So do yourself a favor, please check out this. I mean, look at that. The detail right in on our face right there. He's not hiding anything here in this live stream. So please check out the link down below. If you're not part of Adorama's Twitch channel, these are the things you're missing out on. We'll come back to the Twitch channel a little bit, but let's also talk about the zoom lens that came out, which was the 100 to 400. This lens was great too. Ab went a little crazy with it going across the other side of the studio for it. What's interesting about this lens though is kind of how compact it is for what it is, a 100 to 400. I think me and Ab are in the same boat where we don't always need super long focal lengths. I'm very rarely even going near a 200 millimeter length ever. But this is a 100 to 400 f5.6 to f8. So what that allows is for the lens to be smaller and more cost effective. Actually, that's a bad term. More budget friendly, I'll say. So if you're someone like us that doesn't need super wide apertures, you don't want to carry around a gigantic lens and you just want to have longer focal lengths just in case, this might be something for you if you're in the Canon R system. Check it out. All the links down below, but at least check out the video on Adorama TV, this one that we're looking at right here. I think you'll be really surprised at what was put out, some of the details that people might not have been talking about, and genuine, honest thoughts from a guy like Ab who's been through so much of this industry, so much experience, used so many systems. It was really interesting. I think one of my favorite quotes from Ab that day was he put it into like the full motor drive. I love how we still call it a motor drive, even though it's like kind of not moving film in a motor drive anymore. Don't get me started on that. Do you guys still use the term motor drive when you talk about fast frames per second? Let me know down below. I feel like that's like an older type thing. Anyway, my favorite quote from him, as soon as he set up on the tripod, he put it all the way full speed and he just touches the shutter button. It's like, and he goes, that's just stupid. This is crazy. And then the autofocus keeping up, and he was just having a blast with it. It was really amazing to see what he was able to produce, the types of shots, even the lighting, not just the camera. Forget the camera. The lighting that he got from the skylight, the lighting they produced, his dancer was incredible. Just a great video. I know I'm harping on this. This is a big release for Canon. And of course, we now have the Z9 from Nikon on the horizon, and we have the Alpha 1 from Sony from the beginning of the year. So the playing field's getting a little level here, you know, even if Canon isn't calling this the flagship. And personally, if I could just speak honestly, a lot of the comments were, it's still not an Alpha 1. Canon wasn't trying to be an Alpha 1 here. Canon was putting out what they wanted to put out as a sports events, fast frames per second camera with an autofocus system they were proud of and a really amazing build quality for professional use. That's my opinion. I think Canon didn't even put into we got to put something out there. And people also have to stop saying, you know, this only exists because of what another brand put out. They didn't just glue this together in a few months. This is 2+ years, maybe even 3 years of R&D going into cameras like this, especially at this level. They don't just go, what'd they put out? Quick, what's that hot shoe? Yeah, glue that on there. And is that a flip out screen? Yeah, just screw that into the back. Okay, there's a prototype. Go to the Olympics. That's not how this works. They really put together a good system here. I think the RF mount, the R system in general, really well thought out. So nice job, Canon. And let's move on to Nikon. So Nikon actually released a little lens of their own. It is a 40mm f2.0. I guess f2 really, you don't say 2.0. A little jammer. It is a nice little all-rounder for not so wide, but not so dead on the money 50mm. It's one of those kind of lenses, and if you put it on their like their Z50 or the ZFC, it becomes a 60mm-ish kind of equivalent. So it's a little more punched in. A nice little lens to have around, very lightweight, seems super sharp. It looks like that people are receiving it really well, and it's pretty cost effective at under $300 itself. So nice little jammer they put out there. You know, not a major release, but it's always good to see some lenses coming out for the newer systems like the RF mount and the Z mount. Let's move on to lighting. Aputure put out the Nova P600C, which is an RGBW panel. This is like a 1x2 panel at a really nice price point of I think about $3,300 US at the time of this recording. This is putting it in the class of things like the light panels Gemini and things like that at a little bit of a lower price point. And if you're in an Aputure type system, very, very cool stuff. A lot of built-in cool things. It does have 300 plus industry standard gel presets. So if you do have a specific gel from a brand, it might be in there. It is a very versatile light. I do like the 1x2 style panels, especially with these lenses that they put on them to make it really nice and diffused. I use these a bunch. Not this particular one. I'll be honest, I have not seen this in person. I have not touched it. But from what I'm looking at, it looks like a nice option out there, and it's always cool to have more options out there, especially at different price points, right? So Aputure has always been known for giving you a lot of production value for the dollar. Ted Sims is crazy. Shout out to my boy over there. Nice job on this one, guys. I would love to give it a shot. Hopefully we'll get a unit and we'll give it a chance in the studio and see what it produces. I can't speak to what like a real life experience to this light, but it seems pretty solid from what I'm reading, and Aputure has been solid overall for the price. GoPro Hero10 has been released. We put a video out on Adorama TV. You guys can check that out. Basically what you're looking at is a boost in resolution and frame rate. So you got 5.3K at 60 frames. You got 4K at 120 for some nice slow-mo, but if you want to go even crazier, 2.7 240p. That is some nice crispy slow-mo, and who doesn't love slow-mo with a GoPro? I mean, you're talking about over-stylized look as it is when it comes to, you know, wide angle and vibrant colors and all that kind of stuff. It's an action cam, and GoPro has made a category of their own forever. This is the 10th edition. Austin Keane shows you how he's using it while surfing or skimboarding out there. Check it out. 8x slow-mo, waterproof up to 33 feet, the usual stuff, but it really seems like it's more about the resolution, being that it is now a 23 megapixel sensor in there. So check it out. Let me know if you're a GoPro user. Let me know which GoPro you guys are on, because I feel like there's been so many iterations of it. I got my GoPro 9 right here. I can't say I'm the biggest GoPro user, but they are pretty nifty for certain applications, and they definitely don't take up like any room, so it's pretty great in that regard. If you guys missed it this week, I went live with my buddy Joe McNally, the legend. We just hung out in the Stream Lab at Adorama, and we went live on Twitch with you guys. Cliff Hausner showed up. Look, it looks like I'm pinning a corsage onto this guy. It was a really cool on-the-fly discussion with a legendary photographer, and Cliff Hausner is an amazing photographer and lighting technician in his own right. These guys, I can't tell you the history that's going on. I think Joe, I'm not even making this up, I'm pretty sure Joe McNally processed Cliff Hausner's father's press film back in the day. Like, the stories that went on were crazy. We just got into some things about light theory, what he's thinking when he's lighting, more than just like, put the light here and here's what happens. So check out this stream. It was pretty good. We did get into a few shooting scenarios, and we did clean up the light and make some things happen. Joe's amazing, and his stories and his light theory, his philosophy, everything, just what an amazing wealth of knowledge and experience, and it's amazing that he loves to share with all of us. And I feel very fortunate to have him, especially in our on our channels and in the space that I built. So check that out. I'll put the link for that down below. Also, don't forget to check out the R3 stuff with Ab on the same channel. So that's twitch.tv/AdoramaXP. It's free to sign up. You don't have to spend a dime, but I'm telling you, this is the sleeper channel on Adorama. I'm slipping. I have a lot of resources coming up for you guys. We just did a 3-day series on DaVinci Resolve thanks to Blackmagic Design. I have Capture One doing a takeover for 3 days in October, so you guys can be there in the chat and ask questions live. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have a representative that's actually from the brand that can actually answer your questions. This isn't some kind of like pseudo forum with people thinking they know what they're talking about. No, this is the actual direct line to the brand themselves. So there'll be more of this coming along. There'll be more really well-known people doing some live stuff. I'm working like crazy to book so much special event stuff. Here on Adorama TV, we go live with Daniel Norton in the studio on onset, but Twitch is more relaxed and it's less curated. So while this channel that you're watching me on right now has like 2 videos a day coming out, we can't overload it because then the algorithm just squashes videos and doesn't help anybody. It's very curated on here. Twitch, way more chill, way more on the fly. It's a totally live platform, and we have creators of all types every day of the week, from digital illustration, musicians, audio engineers, video editing, and of course, it's a gaming channel. So Thursdays and Fridays, we just talk about gaming, and Sunday, which is today, we have a gaming news show at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So come join us for that. Me and Josh Chalet talk about all the cool stuff that's happening in gaming, all the rumors, all the stuff that's been changing throughout the week. I mean, this industry is kind of crazy, and I know there's some gamers out here. I mean, where are my Hollow Knight people at? I don't know. You guys into Hollow Knight? Let me know. Let me know down below. I want to know if there's any Hollow Knight people. Also, along with the Twitch channel, don't forget about Adorama's Discord. That's like a conduit to that, and now kind of branching out to the rest of the channels. So do yourself a favor and just head over to the Discord. Link is down below. Adorama's Discord. You just got to go. So what happens is you click on it, gives you an invite. What you do is you go to the rules. You hit this check mark and all this stuff unlocks. And I'm talking about every brand has its own channel here. Nikon, Canon, everybody. And even some of the hosts are in here. I know I have my own room. I mean, we got Ab has his own room if you want to ask him anything about the R3 and stuff like that. So PC builds, I mean, everything. Don't sleep on this. This is like the most sleeper resource I think Adorama has right now. And it's growing like every day. So I appreciate everybody that's been joining and sharing your articles with us, letting us know what discussions you're trying to get out of us with the industry and all this other things. Discord, link below, click it, invite, rules, hit OK, boom. All right, let's go into shout out of the week, everybody. Dan Browning, what's going on, my man? This guy is super supportive of Adorama and my own channels. Actually, I always see him in the comments. He's out there shooting all the time and trying to grow his repertoire. And just so you know, buddy, I appreciate the shout outs that you're learning some ghosting techniques from me and Dan and everybody on the channel. So I appreciate it. And it's really cool that you're sharing your BTS as well. So give my man a follow, keep each other encouraged, and drop each other some comments. Let everybody know that you're seeing each other's work and saying what's up. I'm trying to keep this as a community-based show. So remember, you can also reply to each other in those comments. Don't just, put what you're putting out there. See what other people are saying and see what all perspectives are. And let's have a conversation down in those comments. I'd appreciate it. Also, just to leave you guys with something you should know about, Adorama is closing for the rest of the month, kind of. So Monday, tomorrow, at the time of this recording, is the last day that they're open. So check it out. Here's the holiday schedule. Closing early on Monday, and then that's it. They're closed for Jewish holidays coming up for the rest of this month. So look right here, Monday, September 20th. If you put your order in before 10:30 a.m., you've got a shot at it going out. So if you're looking to order anything, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time is the cutoff before they can ship it out. Otherwise, it's going to be shipped out September 30th. Okay, keep that in mind if you're looking to get anything through Adorama. That's kind of what happens this time of year. But it is what it is. And that being said, no rewind next week either. So you guys are on your own for all the rumors and the stuffs. I think you can handle it. It's all good. And don't worry, even though the company is closed for the holidays, Adorama TV will still be releasing videos on the regular. Everything's been scheduled out. It's going to be coming out. There's a lot of cool things in the works, so don't worry about that. Stay subscribed. Hit the bell if you want to get notified when those videos come out. You don't want to miss them. As for question of the week, I'm going to give you guys a nice softball in this one, and I'm hoping I get some out-of-the-box answers on it. With Adorama closing up for the next 2 weeks, I'm kind of trying to find a way to get myself a little inspired to go into the studio and just do some of my own shooting for a change instead of just doing constant gear stuff and videos and things. So I'm wondering, what non-photo related things do you do or try to ingest to stay inspired? I know for me, movies is like the biggest thing ever. I love all Scorsese, Aronofsky, Kubrick, all that stuff. So I'm wondering, what's some stuff you guys do? Movies seems like the most typical basic answer, but you know, do you look at paintings? What era paintings do you look at? What sort of mediums do you like outside of photography that get you inspired? Is it more about color theory? Do you care about looking at things as far as geometrics rather than it always being about lighting? You know, let me know down below what's something that's not photo related that keeps you inspired to go apply it to your own shots. All right, you can follow me at LastXWitness if you want to check out my work on Instagram, yell at me on Twitter, all the stuff, my own YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to join me there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of the month. Till then, don't forget to like, share this video around, hit subscribe, plus the bell to get notified when more videos like this come out. Be good to each other out there. Peace. Till then, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, share this video. Really?